Om Shanti. Good morning. We listen to Baba's Murli for 7th February 25. The essence is, sweet children, practice staying in remembrance while sitting, walking, and moving around. This knowledge and yoga are your two main subjects. Yoga means remembrance. So today Baba is reminding us that are we the ones who have yoga, or are we the ones who are living a yogi life? Is it that I keep thinking that I have to do yoga, I have to do yoga? Or is remembrance merged in my every action? Is my every action, my every word, every thought based on remembrance of Baba? Just like, the beloved and the lover, they remember each other. In the same way, do I remember Baba? Am I living a yogi life? There's a difference. Living a yogi life versus having yoga. So Baba wants us to lead a yogi life, not just think about I have to take out time for yoga, I have to do yoga, I have to. Today's question: which words would clever children never say? Answer: clever children would never say, teach us yoga. Does one have to learn how to remember one's father? This is a school where you study and then teach others. It is not that you have to sit down especially to have remembrance. Even whilst doing things, you have to practice staying in remembrance. If we go back and think, did anyone teach us in our childhood that this is how you remember? This is how you remember your parents. This is how you remember your friends. Do you remember anybody teaching you how to remember? No. Huh? We just automatically know how to remember. And in the same way, do we just sit leaving everything and say, oh, let me remember my friend today. Let me remember my children today. And you leave everything and sit and remember them? No. No? While doing things, that thought of remembrance is just constant. So in the same way, Baba is saying that this thought of remembrance of Baba should be constant. And when will this become constant? Is when I keep Baba as my priority. It will become constant when I have a very deep relationship with Baba. That deep relationship of love with Baba will make remembrance natural. So Baba is saying that while doing things, you have to practice staying in remembrance of Baba. Om Shanti. The spiritual father sits here and explains to you, spiritual children. You children know that the spiritual father is speaking to you through this chariot. Now, since you are his children, it is wrong to ask the father or any brother or sister to teach you how to sit in remembrance of Baba. Children automatically remember their parents. So once I know, I have the faith that I am God's child, then my remembrance of my parent will become automatic. You are no longer small children. You know that the spirit is the main thing. It is imperishable, whereas one's body is perishable. The spirit is greater. On the path of ignorance, no one has any knowledge of being a soul or that a soul speaks through this body. They become body conscious and say, I am doing this. You are now becoming soul conscious. So, what is this practice of soul conscious? Separating myself from the body. My identity is different from the identity of this body. I am not this body. I am a soul. You know that it is souls that say, I speak and carry out actions through this body. Souls are male. The Father says that he hears these words many times. Teach us how to sit in yoga. They often say this when you are seated and someone sits in front of you. You and that person have the aim of sitting in remembrance of Baba. This Pathshala is not just for that purpose. This Pathshala is for studying. It is not that you come here simply to sit in remembrance. This school has 4 subjects: knowledge, that is studying; yoga, that is remembrance; dharana, that is imbibing; and seva, serving. So Baba says that it is not that you come here simply to sit in remembrance. The Father has explained that while you sit, walk, and move around, you have to remember the Father. There's no need for you to be seated, especially in order to have this remembrance. We cannot say that, can someone just sit in front of me and take me in meditation, take me in remembrance? Can someone take me in yoga? Hmm? So Baba says, not all day you just sit in yoga, and no one can. Hmm? So Baba says, this is also a school where we study. This is also a school where we do seva. So some people tell others to chant the name of Ram. Is it not possible to remember him without saying the name Ram? You can remember him even while walking and moving around. Very interestingly, Baba saying that we don't need to remember someone by chanting their name. When you're remembering your friends, or when you're remembering your children or your parents, do we sit and keep saying, mummy, 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 mummy? Or do we sit, keep chanting their name, whatever their name is? No, we just remember them. So to remember someone, we don't need to chant their name. So you have to remember the Father while you carry out actions. Lovers and beloveds do not especially sit down in order to remember each other. You have to do everything and carry on with your business, etc. We can't say that, oh, I'm so much in love, I will not eat, I just want to remember my beloved. Does someone stop eating, stop cooking, stop doing their things because they are so much in love and they're just sitting and remembering them? No, right? They go about their business, they do everything that's needed to be done. So they remember their beloved while doing everything. It is not that they go somewhere and sit down especially to remember each other. When you children sing songs and recite poems, etc., Baba says that belongs to the path of devotion. They say, O bestower of peace. Therefore, they must surely be remembering the Supreme Soul and not Sri Krishna. According to the drama, souls have become peaceless, and so they call out to the Father because He is the ocean of peace, happiness, and this knowledge. The two main things are knowledge and yoga, and yoga means remembrance. Their Hatha Yoga is totally separate from yours, which is called Raj Yoga. Hatha Yoga that people teach. It's about Hat means discipline. They will either ask you to focus on breathing, hmm, take deep breaths, focus on how you sit, certain asanas or postures. Hatha Yoga means also, some parts in devotion is part of Hatha Yoga, where they say you have to sit and chant the mantra, sit and uh, speak this mantra for this many times, right? So Baba says all that is Hatha Yoga. But what Baba teaches us is Raj Yoga, where you simply have to remember the Father. By coming to know the Father from the Father, you also come to know the beginning, middle, and end of the world. The greatest happiness you have is that God is teaching you. First of all, you should have the accurate introduction of God. No one knows that just as a soul is a star, so God too is a star, that He is also a soul, but that He is the Supreme Soul. He is called the Supreme Soul. He never takes rebirth. He never comes into the cycle of birth and death. No, He is beyond birth and rebirth. He Himself comes and explains how He comes. So, Baba has explained to us who He is, what He does, how He comes, how He is beyond the cycle of birth and death. There is praise of Trimurti in Bharat. They also show a picture of the Trimurti, that is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. Although they say salutations to the Supreme Soul Shiv, they have forgotten the highest on high Father. They have simply kept images of the Trimurti. And in Trimurti, there is Shankar. They don't have picture of Shiv Baba in Trimurti. They say Shankar. So Baba says, however, Shiv definitely has to be above them so that it can be understood that Shiv is their creator. The incorporeal Shiv Baba has to be above Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, who are shown with bodies. But God doesn't have a body. So God is the creator of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar. He carries out the task of establishment through Brahma, destruction through Shankar, and sustenance through Vishnu. So one never receives an inheritance from one's creation. You know that you don't receive any inheritance from Brahma. Vishnu has been shown with a crown of diamonds and jewels. You are made worth a pound from a penny by Shiv Baba. Because there isn't an image of Shiv, everything becomes false. The highest on high is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, and this is His creation. You children are now receiving the inheritance of heaven for 21 births from the Father. When you are there, you will understand that you received your inheritance from your physical father, but you won't know that that reward was attained from the unlimited Father. So in Golden Age, we will receive the physical inheritance from our physical father. who had received his inheritance from the unlimited Father in confluence age. So, whatever we attain or experience the attainment in Golden Age is because of our effort at this time of confluence age. So, even though we will receive inheritance, physical inheritance in Golden Age, we will not know that we are receiving this, or how am I receiving this? How am I worthy? How did I become this worthy to receive this inheritance? We will not remember this. It is now that you know this. Your income of this time lasts you for 21 births. You are unaware of any of this when you are there. You are not aware of any of this knowledge there. Neither deities nor Shudras have this knowledge. Only you Brahmins have this knowledge. This knowledge is spiritual knowledge. No one knows the meaning of spiritual. They speak of a doctor of philosophy, PhD. Only the Father is the doctor of spiritual knowledge. The Father is also called the surgeon because the surgeon takes care of all the illness, performs the surgery, removes any kind of blockages, removes any kind of uh, um, lumps or anything. So that's why God is the surgeon who removes any kind of blockages in the soul. Any blockages of any sanskar, any weakness, any vice, any sanskar of the past. So the supreme surgeon is the only one who can remove these blockages. Sages and sannyasis are not surgeons. Those who study the Vedas and scriptures, etc., are not called doctors. Although they are given those titles, only the one spiritual father is in fact the spiritual surgeon who gives an injection to the spirits. That is devotion. Therefore, you should tell them that doctors of devotion can only give you the knowledge of the scriptures and that there is no benefit in that. There's no benefit in knowledge of the scriptures. You continue to come down, and so how can they be called doctors? A doctor is supposed to heal. A doctor is supposed to make you better. But with so much expansion of devotion or knowledge of scriptures, do you think there's no sorrow in the world? No, in fact, it's the other way around. The sorrow has also increased. With so much expansion of knowledge of devotion or with knowledge of scriptures, people have not healed. So Baba says that's why Baba says that you continue to come down. So how can they be called doctors? Doctors should benefit you. This Father is the surgeon of this eternal knowledge. You become ever healthy through the power of yoga. Only you children know this. What do others know? He is called the eternal surgeon. Only the Father has the power to remove all the alloy of vice from souls. Only He can purify them and grant them salvation. Only the one Father is the Almighty, the purifier. No human being would be called the Almighty. So, what is the power that the Father shows? If He is Almighty, what is the power that He shows? He grants everyone salvation with His own power. He is called the doctor of spiritual knowledge. There are many human beings who are called doctors of philosophy, but there's only one spiritual doctor. The Father now says, consider yourselves to be souls. Remember me, the Father, and become pure. I have come to establish a pure world. So why do you become impure? Become pure. Do not become impure. All of you souls have been given the Father's direction. While living at home with your families, stay as pure as a lotus. By staying pure from birth, you will become the masters of the pure world. You have been committing sins for so many births. So now remember me, and your sins will be burnt away. Pure souls reside in the incorporeal world. No one impure can go there. To go back home to the incorporeal world, hmm, we need to become pure. No one impure can reside there. Your intellects must definitely remember that Baba is teaching us. Would a student ever say, "Teach me how to remember my teacher"? What need is there to teach remembrance? It doesn't matter if no one sits here on the gadi. You simply have to remember your father. So even if no one sits in front of you to conduct yoga, but I still have to remember Baba. You remain engrossed in your business, etc., throughout the day, and so you forget. This is why you are made to sit here. At least they have remembrance for 10 to 15 minutes. You children need to instill the habit of remembering the Father even whilst you are doing everything. That's why we have Baba's rooms. So that when we go in Baba's room, we are going with the purpose, with the aim to remember Baba. So at least I'm taking out that time especially to remember Baba. But Baba is saying that you don't have to especially sit in remembrance. Remembrance has to be very natural. So you children need to instill the habit of remembering the Father even whilst you are doing everything. You meet your beloved after half a cycle. He says, "Now remember me," so that the alloy is removed from you souls and you become the masters of the world. Therefore, why should you not remember him? When the knot is tied between a bride and groom at their wedding, she is told that her husband is her guru, her God, her everything. In spite of that, she still remembers her friends, relatives, and her guru, etc. That remembrance is of bodily beings. This one is the husband of all husbands. You have to remember him. Some say, "Teach us how to sit in solitude in yoga." But what would happen through that? Even though you may sit here for 10 minutes, do not think that you are sitting in constant remembrance. On the path of devotion, when they sit down to worship someone, their intellects wander a great deal. Those who perform intense devotion are only concerned about being given a vision. Even in devotion, when we used to sit to remember or to chant the mantra, the intellect would still be in all different directions, right? So Baba says, they have such a great desire for a vision that they remain sitting there. They become totally lost in the thought of that desire and are thereby given a vision. That is called intense devotion. Their devotion is like the devotion between a lover and beloved, who, whilst eating and drinking, keep each other in their intellects. There is no question of vice in that. It is simply love for each other's body, and so they cannot stay without looking at each other. All these great love stories, Romeo, Juliet, and He Ranja, and all these love stories. What is the end of the love stories? They both uh, die. But why are they called great love stories? because they loved each other so much that they didn't want to live without each other in their lives. They were distant. They were living in different places, but they could remember each other so much because of the love. So, in the same way, Baba is saying that when there is this relationship of love between I, the soul, and Baba, that love has to pull me in remembrance of Baba. The Father has now explained to you, children, that your sins will be absolved by remembering Him. By remembering the seed, you can remember the whole tree and how you have taken 84 births. This is the tree of the variety of religions. It is only in your intellects that Bharat was previously in Golden Age and that it is now in Iron Age. These English words are very good. Their meanings are very good. Souls become like gold, and then alloy later enters them. They have now become completely false. They are called iron-aged. The jewelry of iron-aged souls has become likewise impure. The Father says, I am the purifier. Therefore, constantly remember me alone. You have been praying to me, O purifier, come. I come every cycle to teach you the method of Manmanabhav and Madhyaji Bhav. That is how to become the master of heaven. Baba comes every cycle to teach us how to consider ourselves to be souls and remember the Supreme Soul, and also how to become masters of heaven, Madhyaji Bhav. Some of you say that you have a lot of pleasure in yoga, but not as much in this knowledge. They just have yoga and leave. They only like yoga. They say, I only want peace. Acha, you can remember the Father while you are sitting anywhere. By remembering Baba, you will go to the land of peace. There is no question of being taught yoga for that. You just have to remember the Father. There are many who go to their center and sit in remembrance for half an hour or 45 minutes. They just say, let me sit in yoga for a little while. Or they say, Baba has given us a program to sit in yoga. Here, Baba says, while walking and moving around, stay in remembrance. Still, it is better to sit in remembrance than to have no remembrance at all. So, even though Baba is telling us that we should be remembering Baba while moving around and doing everything, but Baba says it's okay if you have taken the time out and you dedicate that, okay, every day 30 minutes, I will go to the center or I will sit in Baba's room for remembrance. It's at least better than not remembering at all or forgetting to remember him. So Baba says if you make a program for yourself or for remembrance, it's good. Baba does not forbid you to do this. You may sit all night long if you want, but you must not instill the habit of only remembering him at night. You have to instill the habit of remembering him even whilst you are doing everything. Only in this do you have to make great effort. Intellects repeatedly run in other directions. On the path of devotion, too, their intellects wander off, and so they pinch themselves. He, that is Baba, is speaking about true devotees. If they sit in tapasya and the intellect just wanders, they would pinch, they would sometimes slap. What are you doing? Like that. So therefore, here too, you should talk to yourself in this way. Why did I not remember Baba? If I do not remember him, how would I become a master of the world? Those lovers and beloveds are trapped in each other's name and form. Whereas here, you have to consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. I, this soul, am separate from this body. When you enter a body, you have to carry out actions. There are many of you who say that you want to have a vision. What would you have a vision of? What vision? That is simply a point. So even if we have vision of Shiv Baba, he is only a point. What will we understand from that vision? Acha, some say that they want to have a vision of Sri Krishna. There are images of Sri Krishna. You would see that which is non-living in a living form. What benefit is there in that? So even if you get a vision of Sri Krishna, but you will only see Sri Krishna in living form, what is the benefit? There is no benefit in having visions. When you souls remember the Father, you become pure. So there is benefit in remembrance. There's no benefit in having visions. You don't become like Narayan simply by having a vision of Narayan. You know that your aim and objective is to become like Lakshmi or Narayan. However, you cannot become like them without studying. You become clever by studying. First, create your subjects and you can then become like Lakshmi or Narayan. This does take effort. You must pass with honors so that there is no punishment from Dharamraj. This special child is also with you. So Brahma Baba is also with us. He is guiding us with his experience. He also says you can go ahead of me very quickly. There's such a burden on Baba, on Brahma Baba. No, he had to take care of so many things. So Baba would say that even I sometimes forget to remember Baba. And if you can, great. You have all the opportunity to go ahead of me. So Baba says he has to think about so many things throughout the day. I cannot remember Baba as much as you can. This is Brahma Baba saying. At meal times, I start to remember him a little and then I forget. Sometimes I think that Baba and I will go for a walk. Then, whilst walking, I forget Baba. This remembrance is a very slippery thing. Remembrance slips away again and again. You have to make great effort in this. Only by having remembrance do souls become pure. If you teach many, you will claim a high status. Those who understand this knowledge very well can claim a good status. So many subjects are created at the exhibitions. So many people come, they understand very little, and they go and they don't go to the center or don't get connected again. So Baba says they are just subjects because they understand the knowledge. They remember God, so they know that God is point of light, He's incorporeal. So this much they know, but they're not making any extra effort to burn their sins away. Each of you can serve hundreds of thousands of people, and so your stage should be according to that. Once you reach your karmatit stage, your body will no longer remain here. As you move forward, you will understand that wars will increase and that many people will continue to come to you. The praise of you will continue to increase. At the end, even the sannyasis will come. They will start remembering the Father. They will play their parts of going to the lands of liberation. They will not take this knowledge. However, your message has to reach all souls. Many will continue to hear this through newspapers. There are so many villages, you have to give the message to everyone there too. You are prophets and messengers. So we bring God's message. No one but the Father is the purifier. It is not that the founders of religions purify anyone. Their religions have to expand. Therefore, how could they show anyone the path to return home? So, even though we have all the prophets and the religious founders, but it's not that they are purifying anyone. So, Baba says that the religion just continues to expand, but they are not able to show anyone the path home, the path to liberation. The bestower of salvation for all is only the one. You children definitely have to become pure. There are many who do not remain pure. Lust is the greatest enemy. Even good children are brought down by this. Bad vision, too, is a trace of lust, having bad vision. The father says, lust is a very big devil. The father says, gain victory over this, and you will become victorious over the world. You see, now there is no filter on what content they show. And if you see, all content online is driven by lust, by anger, by ego, by revenge. And more people are watching all of that content. So, what are they feeding themselves? So, Baba says we have to even be very cautious of what am I watching? Because whatever the eyes see is registering in the soul, it's going into the subconscious. And then once it's in the subconscious, it will come out. So be very careful of what am I taking in. Acha, to you, sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to you, spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste,
Namaste to the
spiritual
spiritual father.
mother. So today's Murli, Baba is emphasizing on knowledge. This is a study. And he's reminding us that how remembrance has to be so natural while walking and moving around. So making remembrance a natural um, habit. Essence for dharana. Instill the habit of staying in remembrance while doing everything. In order to return home with the Father and then become the masters of a pure new world, you definitely have to become pure. In order to claim a high status, you have to serve many, you have to teach many. Become messengers and give this message to everyone. What message? Consider yourself to be a soul and remember the Father. Today's blessing. May you be an accurate effort maker who experiences total inner happiness. May you be an accurate effort maker who experiences total inner happiness and all the powers in the lap of love. Who experiences total inner happiness and all the powers in the lap of love. Those who are real effort makers do not experience having to work hard or having tiredness, but remain constantly intoxicated in love. Because of being surrendered, even in their thoughts, they experience themselves being made to move by Bapdada, not with the feet of hard work, but moving in the lap of love. Because of experiencing all attainments in the lap of love, they are not just moving, but are constantly continuing to fly in the experience of happiness, inner joy, and all powers. So it's like continuity to the Murli, where Baba says that if we have love, if I have so much love for the Father, all my actions will be governed by that love. Then remembrance will not become hard work. Doing anything will not become hard. So everything becomes easy with love. So there's a saying, right, that love can melt even a stone. So in the same way, God's love, but I have to be in love with God to experience that kind of love. When we talk about these love stories, so many people love reading love stories. What are they trying to experience from those love stories? Do you think everyone who reads love stories have so much love in their lives? Or are they able to experience love? Or are they even able to share love because they are reading these love stories? Not really. So if I want to live a very easy life, a life filled with love, just reading stories or watching love movies and all of that is not going to help me. I have to remind myself of who am I, and I have to start loving my spiritual journey. I have to love Baba from my heart. I have to have love for my transformation. I have to have love for the effort. The effort should not feel like an effort, should not feel like a burden. I need to have love. When I'm serving someone, it has to be with love, not because I have to do this. So that's what Baba's saying in today's blessing, that when you're moving in the lap of love, you experience all attainments through love. And then there's experience of happiness, inner joy, and all powers. Because now I'm full. I'm full. So my love is with Baba, the ocean of love. And this ocean fills me with so much love that I become full of all attainments. I am not looking for anything external from any human being, any love from any human being. I am full. I am powerful. I have all attainments. And then I'm happy. I'm able to remain happy. People lose their happiness because they're asking for love from outside. And when they don't receive it, they lose their happiness. Slogan: when your foundation of faith is firm, you naturally experience your life to be an elevated life. When your foundation of faith is firm, you naturally experience your life to be an elevated life. Very important. What is my foundation of faith? Do I have faith in myself? Do I have faith in Baba? Do I have faith in drama? Do I have faith that yes, I am moving ahead? Do I have faith that yes, I am becoming a deity, I am becoming an angel? When this foundation of faith in my self transformation, foundation of faith in God is firm, then I start leading an elevated life. Today's Avyak signal: unity in diversity. Although there are many countries, many languages, and many colors, although there is diversity, let there be unity in everyone's heart in a practical way. but there's the one Father in everyone's heart, and you are all following the same Srimad. Although you have many languages, the song in your hearts and the language of your hearts are one. So even though, right, Murli all over the world, now translated in so many languages, people probably reading Murli in French or Spanish or Korean or their language, but who is in everyone's heart? It's one Baba. So there's unity, right? All of us are connected to each other through this thread of God's love. We know each other because of Baba. Otherwise, did we know each other? No. So we are all connected because of Baba through the thread of God's love. So you must always remember there's unity. We are all united. Cha Om Shanti. So let's remember Baba. And today Baba is reminding us that it's good you take out time for remembrance, but make remembrance very natural. And that happens only with love. When I have so much love, deep love for the Father, then I'm able to remember Him naturally. It's not an effort. So let's take a moment to experience deep love with the Father. I, the soul, am God's beloved child. I belong to Baba, and Baba belongs to me. My only eternal relationship is with Baba. This relationship of I, the soul, with my Supreme Father is imperishable, is eternal. This is the only relationship through which I just continue to receive. Baba continues to fill me with His love, with everything that He has. It is my fortune to experience this godly love. This godly love transcends above everything physical. This love sets me free, heals me. Baba is the surgeon, as the doctor. treats me with his love. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So experience this, the power of God's love. And then remembrance will become very easy and natural. Right? So anybody wants to share their points? Yes. You want to share your points? Yeah, Shreya, go ahead.
Shanti, my points that I got for today is um remember Baba, I am a soul. Stay in remembrance, like remember Baba like while doing anything. Um be pure and become messengers and teach everyone about this knowledge.
Yeah, Baba said today, right? We are the prophets, we are the messengers. Give everybody this message. Good. Kalp?
Om Shanti. So we have to stay pure and we have to stay in the habit of staying in remembrance, and while doing everything we have to stay in remembrance. Baba says that we have to be perfect in remembrance.
Mm,
We have to not wander off. Maya is like, do you know those like plants which like catch insects by like boom, like that?
mm,
Maya is like those. Because
mm.
Maya catches you when you're not looking. Like if like a bug doesn't look properly and wanders off, it gets catched in the trap of the plant.
Yeah,
So it's like that. So we have to stay away from Maya's trap.
yes,
And we have to be real effort makers. And we have to make a lot of effort because our goal is to go to Satyug, and we have to become pure to the complete.
yes,
And we have to stay in Baba's love and also spread love.
yes. Very good. Very good. So, no, when we are in Baba's love, then effort doesn't feel like effort, right? Good. Very good. Arya?
Shanti, my practice points for um today and tomorrow are remembering Baba while doing everything, uh, remembering that I have to become pure, um, and being Baba's messenger and delivering messages that
Yeah. How are you
we are
going to
souls.
deliver? How are you going to deliver the message?
To Justy and doing Baba's, what's it called again? Seva.
Yeah. So through drishti, through just, through your words, speaking elevated words, right? Forgiving, through your behavior, because everybody is seeing how you behave. So when your behavior is elevated, automatically you're giving Baba's message to that, right? So we are messengers through our actions and behavior. Hmm, good. All right. So have a great day with Baba. Om Shanti. I will see you
Om
tomorrow.
Shanti.
How was